What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about new Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, some of his play calling tendencies, and more importantly, a term that I think gets thrown around a lot in football land but not really explained extremely well is play sequencing. So how do offensive coordinators set up their concepts? So just before we jump right into it, man, just please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff is greatly appreciated on my end. So this film room is actually going to be revolved around the 2022 Falcons. I came across this sequence and wanted to share it with the channel because I think it's really good info for you guys to see. So starting off, man, this is 12 personnel. So we got 2 tight ends, 1 back. The Falcons ran 12 personnel at the 6th highest rate in the NFL. You guys know that by now. We're going to see a lot of these heavy looks, a lot of these condensed tight splits. You're going to see formations just like this in Pittsburgh in the fall. So we get a little pre-snap motion from the diamond formation. And they also ran zone rushing concepts on 91% of their plays this season. So that's by far and away the highest rate in the NFL. So we'll talk a little bit about the wide zone philosophy and why Arthur Smith really believes in that, really as his base offense, right? So really stretch the defense, make them play sideline to sideline. That's the really big key for, wide zone, teaching it. And also, blocking on angles kind of negates some of the physical disadvantages that you might have. That's why a lot of times in this system, you may be able to get away with some of the smaller, more athletic offensive linemen. And really the back, he's the most important player in terms of he's supposed to make the offensive line right. He reads the play really from, in this case, right to left. We're running wide zone to the weak side. And really his aiming point is the outside hip of number 85. Even after he goes into motion to the strong side, that's the aiming point for the back. That's the landmark that he's supposed to press. Now, once we send him in motion, we do get a little bit of, movement here from the defense. And really, this is all about design, right? When you're running zone to the weak side, you're really trying to attack this open B-gap bubble. Anytime you're running weak, that's what you get. They're setting the 3-tech over to the strong side of their formation. And really what we get here is a really nice reach block from the center. He ends up reaching that defensive tackle, throws him on the ground. But you'll see this linebacker working over the top to kind of set the edge. And once Patterson sees that, you see him pressing that landmark really hard. He understands that that gap is now closed. He just reads it right to left. Ends up sticking his foot in the ground, getting vertical, and they get a really nice run off of it. So really, this as his base is how he sets up everything else in his playbook. Unfortunately, right here, we do get a hold here from the right tackle. Really insignificant to the point of the video, but just kind of showing you guys, why this ends up being a 1st and 20 instead of, a 10-plus yard gain from Patterson. But, when I think about play sequencing, it's really about how you use your concepts to set up other plays in order to keep the defense guessing or off balance. And that really starts with having everything look exactly the same. This can be over the course of a game. This could be over the course of multiple games, or in this case, back-to-back-to-back plays. And it's really about how do you keep the defense off balance, right? So another example, this is the same exact formation, same exact look that we had to the previous play, right? Everything looks the same. Like if you were just to take a snapshot right here and ignore Drake London kind of coming across the formation, sneaking out, this looks like wide zone, right? They are trying to create this perimeter stretch, and we get the play action fake right here. Now watch what it does to the linebackers. You see the linebackers really over aggressive because they've seen this play so many times throughout the game already. They know that this is a really frequent early down call. They want to make sure that they are, being aggressive in their pursuit. And sometimes that can lead to guys being over aggressive. And in a case like this, we get the motion. Watch what it does to the Mike linebacker, but also Kyle Hamilton. You can see just how much these guys over pursue. You got both those guys' eyes are in the backfield, right? Because everything looks the same to them. You get the fake and then the bootleg, and then they're going to run kind of just like this slide or shallow cross with Drake London. We get the penalty yardage right back, right? And, another key player, not just looking at what the linebackers, taking advantage of maybe some bad eyes or some over aggression in their, demeanor. You can also take advantage of this backside edge defender. It doesn't really happen right here. This, edge defender is kind of playing this surf technique, staying close to the tackle. But if you notice that this guy's running plays down from behind, right, because he's the guy that we're leaving unblocked, you can also bootleg off of this and either take advantage of that with the QB run game if you have a really athletic quarterback, or, just use that to easily get to the edge right here does a good job getting depth in his rollout. And this is just an easy throw for the quarterback. Ball's a little bit behind, forcing him to slow down. But again, we get the penalty yards right back, which is a good thing. And this is all about just, setting up easy throws to the quarterback, right? And then really all of those plays that we just watched. So we get the same exact formation right here, right? So we're going to shift from this diamond personnel, get into this 12 personnel look. We're going to motion the opposite tight end this time to get to the strong side. Play actions to the weak. And then we're going to use this kind of throwback screen. Now, this ends up being an explosive play right here for a myriad of reasons. But again, this is just another example of, making stuff look exactly the same and take advantage of that. And kind of, the whole idea behind this offense, like if you think about Arthur Smith's offense in general, is really just reduce the amount of time that the offensive line has to be set up to get in these true pass block situations with all these great pass rushers that we got in the NFL. Really, they want everything to look the same. They want to get these guys, pushing forward, using their physicality, playing fast. Allow these guys to be physical without, making them, have to pass block one-on-one in these passing down situations. So we get the play action right here. Now watch what it does to the linebackers. We get the play fake, and then the linebacker immediately, he's having to robot across. He's looking for crossers. This looks like some type of cover 3. So they're bootlegging out as if they're going to end up taking some type of shot play. They're running those deep receivers deep into the other side of the field. So look how many defenders we take out of the play right here. We take the corner out. We take the post safety out of the play completely. Really, everything looks the same, right, to the bottom of the screen. They're acting like they're blocking wide zone to the bottom of the screen. Eventually, when this ball gets thrown, right, we've got 3 blockers for 2 defenders. I mean, this has explosive play written all over it. Unfortunately, we don't get a great block here from the tackle. He ends up kind of falling off this block late. But that's why, if you have really good running backs, they can make guys miss. If you think about it, 3-on-2 or just in general, a back on a safety, as good as Kyle Hamilton is, the Steelers have 2 talented backs in their own right. The whole idea here is, get these guys in space and let them work. You look at this picture right here, all the linebackers are on the other side of the field. We've got a slower, defensive tackle here to the side of the field, and we've got a safety. We have both those guys accounted for because of the play action fake and how we've set this thing up over the course of the drive. Algier does a really nice job, again, making that guy miss. But this ends up being a 25-plus yard pass play. And again, I talked about creating easy throws for the quarterback, all those bootlegs and stuff like that. When you are a really good running team and you're an efficient running team, you can set up all these easy throws to the quarterback that really require very little to no decision making, right? That's just playing the game on easy mode, especially when you've got a quarterback. Whether the Steelers are going with, Russell Wilson, we think at the start of the season, or if they, end up playing Justin Fields at any point. When you've got these quarterbacks that aren't necessarily, upper echelon guys, you want to make life easy for them as possible, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to, have a highly functional offense. But I think this is a good example of, just being a good play sequencer. Sometimes the designs of plays themselves, obviously those matter a lot, but how you call them and how you sequence them sometimes matters just as much, if not more. So if you guys enjoyed this video on the channel, please make sure that you like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll have more film room stuff coming up in the next several weeks. As always, I really appreciate your all's support, and I hope you guys have a good week. Peace and love.